So many people through the years have come forward and said, wow, this is exactly what happened in my life. You know, it's like you wrote, how could you know that that happened? But those songs are few and far between where you touch a nerve in a lot of people about a particular incident in their lives. An old lang syne is that.
What is going down, world? Welcome to the 40s. I go by the name Black Pegasus, and today we're checking out the one and only Dan Fogelberg. This is Same Old Lang, but I don't know how to say. I've never come across this word. It looks like Syne to me. S-Y-N-E. Syne, Syne. Same Old Lang Syne. Oh man, I probably Lang and Syne. I don't know. I've just never heard that terminology, so I don't know what we're getting into. Anyways, let's talk about it for a second. This is a first-time reaction. I've never heard this song. I've never seen this music video, right? I normally say blind reaction when I've never heard of the artist. I did a first-time reaction to Dan, leader of the band. Lord of mercy, Ruth boy, Jimmy Jamook, Jamook. Bro, he cooked. And I remember that song now that I think about it because it's about his father. It's about his father. It's like I think it's a real life story. Autobiographical story. Anyways, someone who can bring the concept of art imitates life, life imitates art to the front of the stage like that, I want to check out again, regardless of recommendations and requests. I just have to at least check out one more track. And that's what leads me here today, my curiosity, right? So I think some of you guys have asked for me to check this out, but some of people haven't. But I'm here because my inclination and my first meeting with your boy Dan was so exceptional because of leader of the band. I'm checking this out today. Anyways, if you guys are here for it, like, share, comment, subscribe, and welcome back to the channel.
They tease him a lot, black peas on the spot. Welcome back, 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 welcome back. 40.
All right, let me get this logo down and pull the video up. Don't forget to support the original content on the channel. If you want to check out my other channel, Pegasus vs. the World, over there I've been doing some movie reactions. However, all of the music and the music reactions, they happen on this channel. If you want access to the reactions early, there's a link in the description that gives you early access. I try to update it every single day, and there's a big catalog of reactions that haven't been released yet in our membership. So you'd have some fun. Regardless, thank you for your support. Huge shout out to all of the members on the channel. Let's get this show moving. We're checking out Dan Fogelberg. Now, before we start, I'm watching this from his official YouTube channel. It is very important for you to go over there and watch this video without me, specifically this video. Stream the music, support the original content. This video you're watching, my reaction, is not a substitute for the original. I'm not redistributing the music. People come here for my commentary, my first-time interpretation, the reaction. But this is made to be listened to in its entirety and to support the original. I mean, technically, they getting a stream from me. You know what I'm saying? Technically, but bro, ask YouTube's copyright system, ask the labels, and oh, I'm the devil over here. It's crazy. So it is what it is, but I still do my best to try to lead you guys to the water, and that's the original content. So please support it. It has nothing to do with the artist. It never has anything to do with the artist. It's always the corporate structure, the copyright, the blah, blah. It's always the corporations trying to disconnect us from the artist. So please don't think that's a shot at the artist. That's why I want you to go support them, because that is very important, right? All right, let's go. We rocking with Dan Fogelberg, Same Old Lang Syne? I don't know, man. I probably look like a doofus right now.
So many people through the years have come forward and said, wow, this is exactly what happened in my life. It's like you wrote, how could you know that that happened? But those songs are few and far between where you touch a nerve in a lot of people about a particular incident in their lives. And old lang syne was that way.
My old lover in the grocery store. The snow was falling Christmas Eve. I stole behind her in the frozen foods, and I touched her on the sleeve. She Didn't recognize the face at first, but then her eyes flew open wide. She went to hug me and she spilled her purse, and we laughed until we cried.
We 1 minute and 12 seconds in, and he's kind of doing it, y'all. He's kind of doing it. We'll talk about it. Let's listen a little bit more. He ran into an old lover at the grocery store. Okay, Fogelberg.
Took her groceries to the checkout stand. The food was totaled up and bad. We stood there lost in our embarrassment as the conversation dragged. We went to have ourselves a drink or two, but couldn't find an open bar. We bought a six-pack at the liquor store, and we drank it in a car. We drank a toast to innocence. We drank a toast to now. We tried to reach beyond the emptiness, but neither one knew how. She said she married an architect.
Bro, this MFer and the detail and the story of the song. So okay. The production, solid, straightforward, normal production, some keys, some you know what I'm saying? We getting into the vibe. The production fits the story. It allows him to tell the story. His vocals, he has a great voice, and he's putting emotion right in he's putting his emotion into it. I don't know if this is a real story. You know, when I react to this, it's so blind because, you know, people, you should have did some research. It's like, dog, calm your ass down, first of all, because this is my channel. Second, it's like if you do research, it spoils the reaction because all this information starts popping up and then there's no surprise. I'm here to be surprised. Anyway, sorry, that wasn't at you. I know you guys love me. Anyway, the emotion he's putting into his delivery, I feel it. I rock with it. But it's the story. It is the story. Now, let's go ahead and just do a disclaimer. If you ever run into an ex or an old blah, 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 whatever you decide to do, the last thing you want to do is go drink in a car in the parking lot. Why that stood out to me is just because it's insane. You guys are asking for a DUI to get arrested, and let's not do that. So, disclaimer, you guys, don't listen to Dan Fogelberg when it comes to, you know, sitting in a car, drinking with your ex-lover, it sounds like. Now, in engaging your ex-lover, you know, you do you. But this storyline is so straightforward and distinct. It sounds like it's a personal story, but it is the way it's written. It sounds like a personal story that can be relatable to others, right? You know, you stumbling upon someone in your past that you had feelings for and how that can play out. Now, I've never been in this situation. I'll keep it real, man. Some of my longest relationships, it ended kind of toxic on both sides. Both kind of like, you know, because there's that explosive whatever. So I can't imagine this ever happening to your boy. But there's still people in your life. It doesn't have to be a lover. It could be a friend where you're like, damn, I haven't seen you in a minute. We shared all of these experiences together. I'll give an example, touring. Like I've toured most of my life. I'm just going through the phase of my life where I'm not touring and I'm raising children. But for about 25 years, I was on the road with some of my best friends, my brothers, etc., that I don't see anymore, right? So this kind of relatability to reconnecting with someone that holds a piece of your heart, but you're in a new place now where it might not, where they don't really exist in that space anymore, it's not unique to anyone. This is real spill, and I think this is why you guys always rock with Dan and tell me to check more of his stuff out. I like this a lot. We might go into the area. I love this. Let me hear him out. Did I bring it back a little bit? Let me see. Okay, I brought it back. Let's go.
She said she married her an architect, kept her woman safe and dry.
She married.
She would have liked to say she loved the man, but she didn't like to lie. I said the years had been a friend to her, that her eyes were still as blue. But in those eyes I wasn't sure if I saw a doubt of gratitude. She said she saw me in the record store, and I must be doing well. I said the audience was heavenly, but the traveling was hell. We drank a toast to innocence, we drank a toast to now, and tried to reach beyond the emptiness, but neither one knew how. We drank a toast to innocence, we drank a toast to time, reliving in our eloquence another lonely sound. Beer was empty.
All right, let's keep it going. Let's talk about this. This is dope. I think this is about his life again. And it's ironic because this pops up as one of his more popular tracks. So it seems like his biggest songs are the songs about his real actual life, because he's talking about being a musician. Like, she has seen him in the record stores, not like, oh, I was stalking you, I saw you. No, she sees his records and his posters in the record store. Yeah, youngster, there used to be a thing called a record store where you could go buy a record, a CD, and a cassette tape. Not all these WAV format formulas you stream these days. Anyways, she would see his picture at the record store, probably when she was shopping for records, and was like, damn, he's doing well for himself. And he was like, yo, I like this. I enjoy it. My audience is amazing, but the traveling is hell. You heard what I just said. I don't tour no more. I get it. So I think this is a real life experience, and it's going to be relatable to people, because as I hear him break it down, there's this concept. So love is like in layers and chapters, and there's different levels and depth to love, right? Like when I met my wife, there's the initial attraction, and then the love grows. And then you get married, and the love continues to grow, and you get to know their family, and you share all these experiences and memories. Then the love grows further. Then all of a sudden, you have a child together. First, we lost a child together, and the love was, it was rough. But after we got over the trauma, the love grew. When we had my daughter, that's when I experienced a new type of love that I didn't understand. One for my daughter, and a more intense love for my wife, for her bringing this gift into my life. So I'm trying to explain the dimensions of love, because it's different. Because what he's also talking about is that there's this explosiveness to some of your first loves, because it's unfamiliar, it's innocent, and it's exciting. And those sometimes might be in our memory more because of the time. So we're almost could be more in love with that time and like the idea of what happened in that moment versus what is going on now. And then also, depending on where you're at in your life, the love you might be experiencing now might be way more intense and have more depth and layers to it, because there's a different type of love when you develop a relationship with a partner and you're sharing those chapters of your life, and then you have children. So I wanted to kind of explain that out from my perspective in the spectrum of love, because there's so many different forms of it. And I think this, what he's expressing here is the way he's expressing it is really well, right? He's talking about that age of innocence and that young love and, you know, them still being attracted to each other, even though she's married and he has what he has going on. They're in this scenario, they're still attracted to each other, right? And they question, like, it's almost like there's also like what would have been kind of thing. But hey, now we're at the end of the beer, which, again, I don't recommend you sitting in a car drinking a whole 6-pack or a whole beer. It's not a good look. But I digress. Let's hear where the rest of the story goes.
Beer was empty and our tongues were tired and running out of things to say.
I thought he said our tongues were tied. He said tired. And I was like, oh, they've been making out? No, they've just been talking a lot. Let's get that clear.
She gave a kiss to me as I got out, and I watched her drive away. Just for a moment I was back at school.
Got him.
And felt that old familiar pain. And as I turned to make my way back home, the snow turned into rain.
I see what he did there. I see what he did there. Yeah, he did that. Damn, that crowd is huge.
Thank you so much.
He cooked. He cooked. All right, let's talk about it. So I think he said the snow turned to rain, which would remind me of the concept of the seasons changing, right? Things change. This is where we're at now. And like I said, I hit it on the nose when he said he's in love with the memory of that moment of innocence, right? I don't know the reason why they're not together, because if they were meant to be together, they should have fought for that. But sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. But he might have even been more in love with the idea of what she was and that memory and that moment, which a lot of us get caught up in that. And I'm not saying he still didn't love her. There's not lingering feelings, but he specifically said when she kissed him goodbye, it brought him back to school. And that's what I was telling you, that age of innocence, that newness, that unfamiliarity, that something about moments in our life where these new things happen, those are what we'll remember the best or the longest. And high school is just the time of your life where you go through all these things that you're just going to carry on for a very long time, if not forever. And I just love the relatability of what he said there. But then they switched it to that solo, which was a Christmas song, which leads me to believe he bumped into her at the grocery store and everything was closed because it's around Christmas time. And it was snowing. And that makes total sense, because as a musician who travels, when are you home the most? During the holidays. Because you don't tour during the holidays typically. It's just how it goes, right? And so it just all makes sense. So I honestly think this is a personal, real story, but I don't know for sure. But if it isn't, he laid it out like it was. And I think it's very relatable in the sense of going back to the age of innocence, to your formative years, to memories that you still hold deep in your heart, whatever that may be. But this is specifically about lovers or people that you hold dear in your heart and that you still have love for them, and, you know, bumping into them in real time. Like, oh my God, like this just reminded me, like I did this, I did that. Once you get past your 40s, you start bumping into people and you're like, holy smokes. Like, especially like in social media too, like you might bump into someone that you knew when you were 8 years old. And like we were in the military and it was like, oh, we were best friends in Germany, but then we moved back to America and never saw each other. But now I'm seeing you on Facebook with your full family. Like, it is kind of incredible how that works. Anyways, getting off track. This is specifically about running into an ex-lover. That's what this song is about. And I'm sure it's relatable to a lot of people, but the overall relation to having memories of someone you love and bumping into them and sharing those memories and your heart kind of dropping because you go back to those moments you lived. That is the key here, that art imitates life and life imitates art. And guess what? AI can't do that, you guys. It can write about it, but AI can't do what Dan does, bro. You guys, man, this is great. This is great music from a great musician. All right, let me know what I got, what I missed. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Thank you for being some man. 40 years down the road, back again. FUQ.